I think perception can be a bad thing too, though, because perception all depends on the person, and perception is something hard to understand when you break it down, because perception, the images that we see aren't really what we're seeing. Okay, these are images that our eyes capture, and it's broken down by our brain, and then we see something all through this crazy physiological process. We see something, but is that what's really there? Who knows? Yeah, is it most likely that's reality, right? But what is reality? Well, it's perception. Well, what if somebody sees reality differently? And the problem with that is that when people can't see what's going on in the rest of the world, unless you fly there, unless you get a picture from a satellite on Google Maps, you don't know what's going on over there, so you don't perceive the problems that they're going through. Right now, I'm sitting on my computer making this video, when there could be a starving child who just died, when there could be a man wrongly convicted of murder being sentenced to death, but I can't see that. So people don't necessarily care because they can't see. People don't care about what they can't see. They really don't. And there's exceptions to that rule. However, it's mostly true because you're focusing on what you're doing presently. It's not like driving on your way to work, you're thinking about the starving children in Africa, or driving to go get groceries for the family. You're thinking about the Nigerian civil war that's going on. That's something that's a problem, because I think it doesn't let people understand the world in a way that the world it can be interpreted if people thought that way. I think that there's so many things in life that are going on all around you at the same exact time. It halts your perception, and it dims it. It makes it dark. It makes it so you can't perceive things the way you want. And it's sad, because if we did have a different sense of perception, if we did understand what actually goes on and dig deep inside our brain and get those extra parts of our brain firing at all times, I think the world could be a lot different place. And I think that people would have a little more empathy, a little more sympathy for one another. But it's not going to happen because we only perceive what we look at, what we can see. I can imagine what it's like over in Africa. I can imagine what it's like over, in parts of the Middle East. But I can't see them. And even if somebody's been there and then comes back, your memory slowly fades. You're not really going to know everything until you're there all at once, all around the world, at exactly the same time. And that's perception. And perception is not always a good thing, because it halts our deep views of the world. Our perception is a good thing in the sense that it lets us understand things, but perception is a bad thing in the sense that we don't understand things the way, in detail, the way that they're supposed to be understood. I think if we alter our sense of perception and alter our sense of thought, alter our way of thinking, I think the world could be a lot different.